Hey there. Sorry here. Sorry I haven't been too active lately. It's been pretty busy these last few days, but you know, I've had a chance to play around just a little bit over the weekend, and I did want to do one more level 99 no mods clear. I've done a lightning team already featuring Wondrous Flash Lightning, of course. I did the wind team where Malphasey was kind of leading the show. And now I'm going to do one where Ibara, I'm going to do a dark team, and Ibara is basically going to lead this one. And, you know, we're not using any kind of fancy leader skill. We're using Dwayne for his measly 300% leader skill. You know, we're using Cecil for a tank, so we're not using, you know, Abigail or Elena or anything like that. You see we've got Zon in there. He's actually going to do some Zon shenanigans. He's actually got quite a few things that make this clear a little bit easier for us. We've got Olive. Olive is not necessary. She's just an Extreme Nova chainer to chain on turn 3. She does need to be EX3 if you want her to chain Extreme Nova on turn 3 like I'm going to do. So if your Olive is not EX3, just slap some other Extreme Nova chainer in there in your party. She's absolutely not required. She just makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, so this is the team that we're going to use to get it done. Let's see how we do it, and then I'll show you the gear at the end. All right, so there's the preemptive 90% gravity attack. Okay. So we're just going to be basically setting up. This is a 3-turn clear. We're just going to get set up. There are some things we got to take definitely take into account. So Cecil starts in his normal form for the LB field. He then goes into his shift form. He's going to do Come, Our Battle Awaits. He is not going to activate his magic cover, all right? We only want his cover to last for 1 turn. You'll see why in just a minute. So he's going to do Come, Our Battle Awaits. He'll do Lunarian Might for the magic mitigation, and then Curaga, because we need to get him healed up a little bit. All right. And that's also what Zon is going to do. He's going to summon Lakshmi for some heals as well. Now, our healing is reduced, but that's okay. That's why we are going to summon Lakshmi. So that should still summon, I think, 50%. I think it's only a 50% reduction. So, yeah. So there you go. And that should be plenty of HP for Cecil to survive the turn 1 magic damage. Okay, now we need to get our dark amp going, Abyssal Blessing. So there's our dark amp. We'll do Chronic Flow just for morale fill, and then shared immunity for the resistances. Okay. Ibara can just go ahead and do her LB, all right, to give her all the killers and the Katana Imperil, all that jazz. All right, Dwayne, he will do Arcane Supplementation, Oath of Twilight, and Power Ravage. Olive is just going to do all of her like little setup morale skills, end with Gunner Guardian. Okay. Now, the neat thing about Zon and Dwayne, bringing them to this fight, is that since the boss goes ahead and knocks off 90% of your HP, it activates a lot of their passives. Or it activates a lot of their special abilities that only activate when their HP is reduced below a certain level. So for example, all right, Zon gets the move Smoke Bomb, which does 5 stacks of Mirage for the entire party for 1 turn. All right, that's only activated when his HP drops below, I think, 80%. So it's perfect. So now we can use this. All right, and since Cecil's cover expires, we will now Mirage all of the attacks on this turn, because the attacks are hybrid and physical. So we're going to Mirage all of them. So Cecil can honestly, like, he can just guard. He doesn't need to do anything on this turn. He can just, if you wanted, you could shift him back to regular and let him, you know, actually deal some damage, but his damage is crap, so we're not going to do that. And now, let's see, we'll get Melissa in here with Curse Control. Just because you get a little extra morale bump for imbuing the party with, you know, lightning, wind, or dark. We'll do Minutes of Might, and does Parasol Shield do morale fill? I'm just looking for things that do high morale fill. That does not do any morale fill. So we'll just do one of our killers. Not that we really need it. Yeah, we can give it to anybody. Honestly, doesn't matter because Zahn is going to steal and spread all the killers next turn anyways. Because Ibara does 250 to Dragon and to Reaper. Olive does 200 to Machine. So there you go. We're good. We're good on the killers. So Olive will just do all of her setup skills. End with Giant Melon Ammo. Dwayne will just hit the boss again. And then Blood Shield Hellfire for morale fill. Alright, Ibara. She'll just do Anun for the Dark Imperil, Wish of Vengeance for the buffs, and Sukiyo for her 150 amp and mag store. Alright, so we got a pretty decent morale. For just being 2 turns, that's pretty decent morale. Melissa definitely helps a lot with that. Okay, and we didn't even start with the Empress's Rod, so you could like throw the Empress's Rod on somebody and get like an even better head start. All right, so now we need to shift Ibara. She'll do her LB. Zahn is going to Reflector. He's going to do Critical Mirror on Ibara, Critical Mirror on Olive, and then Projected Mirror. All right, and that will spread the 250% Dragon and Reaper and the 200% Machine Killer to everybody. Okay, so they are all good on their killers. So yeah, so this is pretty simple. So Olive and Dwayne start, and then you tap Ibara shortly after that, and this dragon dies basically. All right, very, very simple 3-turn kill. And there's Ibara. Very, very clean and simple. 4.3, there you go. Lots of overkill. All right, now you may be wondering, the boss does re-up its buffs on turn 2, but you may have noticed that, and that's one of the reasons why we don't want Cecil to cover. You may have noticed Dwayne countering with his normal attack, which does a perfect dispel. That's because we did give him counter gear, so that he counters and dispels that defense and spirit buff on turn 2. And yeah, there's Ibara leading the pack. Olive just cleaning up the mess, and Dwayne doing. You can see that Dwayne and Ibara alone kill the boss. The boss has 3 billion. All right, so Olive just kind of cleans up. So like I said, you could put like Kaito in place of Olive, and you would be just fine. Because he would give the 200% Machine Killer to everybody anyways, and then yeah, you would be solid, good to go on that one. You could probably even do his 90% breaks on like turn 2, based on how much morale we were filling up there. So yeah, Kaito's a good swap for Olive if you don't have an EX3 Olive. All right, I just want to throw her in there because she's pretty old now. She's like over a year old, so there's a better chance you have her at EX3. Yeah, you can see I've already got rank 1 there. I'll get to that later. And so here's the gear for the units. You don't really need to worry too much about Melissa. You can just gear her for morale fill. That's all she really needs. And for Cecil, just make sure he's got his TMR or STMR. Well, actually, no, he can't wear his STMR. So his TMR in normal form, so that he gets the LB field. And then his Brave Shift form, just bulk. All he needs is bulk. We're not taking any elemental damage within the first 3 turns. So all he needs is bulk. That's it. You really just want to make sure that he survives that first turn. That's the most important thing. All right. Dwayne. So you see, I gave him Blizzard Orb and Cypher's Coat so that he would proc his normal attack, because as long as you got his as long as you have his Trust Mastery, his normal attack becomes Arcane Negation, which is a perfect dispel. Okay. So yeah, that's why he's got Blizzard Orb, and that's why we also did not want Cecil to cover more than 1 turn. All right. And then yeah, here's perfect. So I gave him Perfect Propagation just so the 2 single target physicals definitely go to him. All right, it just increases the chances that he will counterattack. to get rid of the defense and spirit buffs. And yeah, so here's the gear that we used to, just try and get him the best attack stat we could. His killers are kind of, they're meh, 250 Machine and Dragon, only 75 Reaper. But yeah, he's not really there for big damage. He's just there for a little bit of side chip damage to make sure you kill the boss. All right. He does not need to be EX3. I think even an EX0 would probably be fine, because I'm pretty sure one of these fills up his LB. And yeah, I mean, he fills up his LB so easily. So you don't you don't need an EX2 Dwayne by any stretch. Zahn doesn't really need anything. You can see I gave him some Bahamut synergy. Oh, that was one thing. I'm glad that reminded me. In Cecil's normal form, fill him up with Bahamut synergies. That way you can summon Lakshmi on turn 1. I think you need to have 5 Bahamut synergies on the party in order to guarantee a full Esper gauge, because I think it ranges from 2 to 3. Let me see. Yeah, so if they all rolled low, even if they all rolled low, all right, you would be guaranteed a full Esper gauge on turn 1 with 5 Bahamut synergies. And as you can see, Bahamut synergy just comes from Draconian Princess Fina. She's a 5-star unit. You probably have about 1 billion of them, so go get those STMRs. Or TMRs. They're not even STMRs, are they? They're her TMR. Yeah, so just go stock up on those. They're great. Okay, so, and then Zahn's got the 1 extra Bahamut synergy. The nice thing about putting it in Cecil's normal form is you don't have to sit there and wait for autocasts every turn, because you shift him, and then you don't have to wait for the autocasts. Alright, Ibara, in her normal form can be whatever. We're really not doing any damage in her normal form. It's her brave shift form that we're worried about, so obviously her STMR, gave her some cow gear. She needs Magister's Ring for the Chain Cat boost. Although we do give her Moonlit Parade, so she honestly doesn't need Magister's if you have this vision card. And then, yeah, I think she actually caps everything pretty easily. Yeah, so she's like 300% on everything with some room to spare. All right, I could have put some Esper stats in there or something like that to EP her out, but is what it is. Olive, so she's got a lot of good gear as well. Saint's Amulet is nice because it does some machine killer. She doesn't really need too much help with that, but she's not capped on machine killer innately, so you do need some machine killers in there. Last Guardian, conquering the fear of the spirits for the killers. Kind-hearted Demon is good because it's got 100% Dragon Killer, which is one that she has a hard time gearing for. So yeah, 275 Machine, 300 Dragon, 125 Reaper. Reaper's a hard one to gear for, but she gets it done. No biggie. All right, so that'll probably be the last no mods clear that I do. Next, I have done my rank 1, as you guys saw. I'm going to show you my damage test first, because I'm still kind of cleaning up my rank 1 clear. I literally just finished my rank 1 clear like 10 or 15 minutes ago, and it was pretty messy. It was a little sloppy, so I've got to clean it up. I've got to optimize before I record a video on that one for you guys, and hopefully I'll get that one out to you tomorrow. All right, so be expecting my rank 1 video on this Clash of Wills tomorrow. All right, so thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.